June 3, 1965. A man in a white spacesuit steps out of a tiny capsule into the cold void of space. One tether, no backup, and a smile on his face. What could possibly go wrong? The 1960s weren't just about bell-bottoms and the Beatles. This was a time when the US and the Soviet Union were locked in a cosmic arm wrestle over who could conquer the stars first. The Soviets had already scored big with the first satellite and the first human in space. America needed a win. Gemini 4 launched on June 3, 1965, with 2 astronauts aboard, command pilot James McDivitt and pilot Edward White. The mission, a 4-day flight around Earth. But for Ed White, the real goal was floating freely in space. At 3:45 p.m., Ed White opened the hatch and made history. He became the first American to perform a spacewalk, drifting 22 minutes in space while attached to a 25-foot tether. He used a handheld maneuvering unit, basically a gas gun, to push himself around like a space cowboy. Ed White said, "It's the saddest moment of my life." That's what he said when they told him to come back inside. There was no second tether, no rescue plan. If that cord snapped, he'd become America's first space ghost. McDivitt had to wrestle with the hatch just to let him in again. Nothing about this was easy. We're safe, but that's what made it epic. White's EVA, that's extravehicular activity for you acronym fans, proved that humans could work outside a spacecraft. It paved the way for moonwalks, satellite repairs, and space station construction. Sadly, Ed White would later die in the Apollo 1 fire. But on June 3, 1965, he gave us a glimpse of what human courage looks like when untethered from Earth. So the next time you struggle to untangle your earbuds, remember, Ed White floated in space with one cord and a smile. Click subscribe so you never miss a chance to float back through time with us. Here on this day, back then, where history has zero gravity.